So we're going to talk a little bit about Fling, but I know that we have some people that are trying to catch flights and stuff, and I want to get them on here if we can. So I'm going to quick share two things that I had as a takeaway. First of all, the whole thing was amazing, and I know we've talked a little bit about just kind of having that Fling. Just there's so much, but the whole thing was imagine. So those of you that were going, or went to it, that they talked a lot about imagining what your life could look like, what your business could look like, what your family could look like, and just imagining that. But the one thing that every training session had, little nuggets that we were taking out. And I know that we've already shared the keynote speaker and what she said, and I put her name in here in the book. You can order the book. There were some QR codes. We can drop those for you guys to use if you weren't there. But one of the other things that they talked about, we had the panel of people that talked about the GLP-X product. And then we had the girls that had sold the most bundles with GLP-X, and they shared their verbiage. And one of the biggest things that they said, because we know that GLP-X is a great product, but sharing it or having it by itself, we know that people need to have it in their system for 90 days and they need to be willing to commit to that. But selling, we also know that the biggest thing is it works best with when it is paired with the other bundles. And so they said that all of them talked about how they talked about the other bundles. They didn't just talk about GLP-X. They talked about pairing it with the other bundles. And here's the bonus to that is that even though their people are waiting for the GLP-X to come in, they have other products that they're starting with. So they have stuff they can put on subscription. They have products to get started with their 8-day jump start. And that was kind of their key thing or their key takeaway. Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I just the imagine, because this part is big for me. Because when we got started, imagine. I could imagine us making enough money to get rid of our part-time jobs. I could imagine, it's all the dream. And when, Tara Renzi, and we mentioned it before, be who you came to be. Who did you come to Xyngfling to be? Did you come to be that $1,000 so that it eased your budget? Did you come to be an executive? What is it that you came to be? And just get that dream on paper, write it down, get pictures, speak it, get an accountability partner, speak it with them, and just roll.
And we wanted to open it up for a few minutes to have people that went just share what are your takeaways. So if you guys that were with us, if you could just unmute anybody that was unmute and share your biggest takeaway.
We'll start calling people out.
Yeah. I'm looking for, I know Kelly was going to get on, but she actually just, her door, she's getting on the plane, so that's not going to worwork.
Let's not live.
Jody,
go for it.
Okay, so my biggest takeaway from Fling was, just listening to the people talk up on stage and talk about how you don't have to be somebody else. You don't have to wish you were that person. You don't have to want to be that other person. You want to be rich. You want to be this. You want to have that. Just be yourself. And being yourself is probably the biggest key to building relationships with people that you're talking to. They want to know about you, and they want to be able to feel comfortable with you, and you will start to build a relationship with them. Then once they start trusting you, that's when they're going to want to buy from you. The other thing that I took away was, a lot of times you feel intimidated, like with people that make so much money, and you feel like you can't really talk to them, or they're not going to give you the time of day. Kala invited us to a lunch, which was amazing. And we got to hear Kala talk, her daughters talk, Mark talked, and Curtis and Robin and Lacey. It was amazing to hear from them and get to see that they're real people. I knew they were real people before this luncheon by all means, but it was just really nice to hear from them and hear their perspective and where they started and their, truths. Kala's telling us, she's had all these children and she was by herself and she started this business and brought her kids along, and, you could really relate to her and understand and put yourself in that situation, So that's where a lot of the things that I took away, other than it's a complete blast. And I look forward to being able to hang out with my team because they're like my sisters. I mean, I just love each and every one of them. And we laughed and we had so much fun this weekend. And Greg and Jan are just like the best coaches. I mean, they're not just coaches to me, they're also my friends. And that means a lot to me. And they are more than willing to help me get to where I need to get. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. Jamie, do you want to share?
I'll say something.
Oh my God. Okay, good.
So of course, I really love the guest speaker, the keynote speaker, and how she talked about being who you want to be or be who you came to be. And just that her person, when she approached them with the idea of her speech and how she was going to do it, that he was like, but you're ordinary. Everything you're saying is just ordinary, but that's what we are. We're ordinary people. And you don't realize that, or you don't think that because of Facebook and things like that. But, what she said just really resonated with everything, because we're not fake, or I don't try to be fake on Facebook, but some people, that's just how they are. It was something else I was going to say. And just by saying that, I forgot what it was. I've always had I guess I just misunderstood or just never really asked the questions, but I always felt like business builder awards were like new people that come in and really got started. But I saw so many older people who have been with it for a while win these awards because of just their business growing. So I know that I can still do things like that just by watching these other business builders that have been with the company for years that never have won that award or won any of those awards. So I thought that was neat because I didn't know that. I thought it was for new people that came in and their business just boomed right off the beginning. So
I love that because we did hear Cynthia Evans stand up and say she's been here since the very beginning, and it was the first time she won a Business Builder Award. So that was cool. All right. Anybody else?
I'll go, Jan.
Go, Vicky.
I want to build pretty much on what Bambi said. It was so exciting to me. There was so much. I mean, there was just so much. I don't have my notes in front of me to pull from, and I hadn't refreshed them kind of after the fire on the plane. I've just kind of crashed for a little while to regroup and get that energy built back up. But Lori Ulrich winning and being so excited and getting up there and saying, I intentionally went after this. And that just shows you write it down, you keep score, you pay attention, and it pays off. And don't forget what your goals are each month to really go after them and attack them. And the excitement she had, I would love to see everybody that gets up there and wins. And I know if I were to win something, I'd be up there. I'd be, you're scared to death, but you should run for that award. You've worked hard for it and it needs to show. And that was awesome to me.
I can say something if y'all have time.
Yep, go for it, Bree.
I was just gonna say, I've been to many events. I've been around for a while. That's why I said Melissa would have dropped me a long time ago if she didn't want to keep me around. But this event I did something very intentional for myself. Everything was great. Like I really identified with the keynote speaker. I took away something from every speaker, including Melissa McKelvin. Girl, I loved what you said. And I was like, I know her. I actually know her. It was exciting. But I decided I was going to go to this event and be different. I was going to show up different. I am not introverted, in case you can't tell. But when I go to the events, it's almost like overload. And I almost want to shut down and unlike my normal self and my normal everyday life, I kind of pull back a little bit and watch everybody else take pictures with each other, watch everybody else talk. And I'm very overwhelmed. I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm like not myself. So this time I said, Bria, you are going to look, you're going to talk to every single person you can possibly talk to, even when you don't want to, even when you know who they are, you know, and you look like a stalker, you're going to talk to every single person, shake their hand, introduce yourself. And so many cool things happen because of that. One thing, I've met Mark Walker a ton of times, but I'm one of like 10,500,000 people that have met him. So I don't expect him to remember my name. So we happened to be in the hall at the same time with nobody else, walk into the convention center, and he asked me, and I said, "Hey, Mark, I'm Bria Loft. Melissa Adams is my coach." He goes, "Yeah, I've met you before, Bria." He said, "How's it going this weekend?" And I was talking to him about it. I looked at my watch. We talked for an entire 7 minutes. Like, I was just blown away. But if I had been walking along the side of the wall, not making eye contact, or just kind of shrunk inside myself, things like that wouldn't happen. So show up differently, show up different to the grocery, and you'll put off a different energy. Show up differently to church, you'll put off a different energy. Does that make sense?
I love that. Does anybody else want to pop in and share?
Just real quick, I can totally relate to Bria. Man, oh man, oh man, that was awesome. Yeah, I tend to do that too. I'm very outgoing, and I'll just back off and I won't take pictures with a bunch of people unless somebody comes up to me and asks me. And so I kind of initiated us taking pictures with a couple people from my Founders Club accountability group, and then people that are in my Focus 40 group, because we're all starting to bond and get to know each other. For me, I was going through my notes, and I think the thing that hit me the most was the imagine period, because I don't daydream. I don't imagine. I suck at belief, and so those I used to. Also, I'm going to rephrase that. And so that's the area I struggled with, and that's the area that I really wanted to work on. And that's the area where, anybody that holds me accountable has to kick me in the butt with. And so that's what I wanted to do. I want to kind of go through my goals, be intentional, make the list, but by doing those steps and writing it down, I think the belief starts to come to me more, because I'm not just I'm going to do it. I'm going to Founders Club. I'm going to camp. That's all I hear. Like, it does nothing for me. But when I start writing down steps, okay, so this month, the goal is to get 2 people to talk to this many people per day and this many per week, and start adding all that up and putting the action steps in, then the belief starts to get a little bit stronger. So that's kind of like where I am now. And then everybody complimented me on looking different, so I had to do some new pictures, and I posted on my wall one set, but I know people like to use them in your transformation pages, so have at it. They're up now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Stace, what about you, man? What'd you take away?
Hey, brother, let me tell you, coming to this event, the keynote speaker is probably what I needed to hear. Is come who you need to come as, and not just to the event, but just thinking, okay, every day, am I showing up as the person that I need to be showing up as? Am I showing up for my family every day that I need to be showing up? Am I showing up for my customers? Am I showing up for my partners? And here's another thing. Am I showing up for myself? Am I doing the things that I need to be doing that brings me joy to my life as well? So taking that keynote speaker speech and bringing it back and applying it starting today, I've really been able to just sit back and reflect on, am I showing up and being who I need to be in all areas of my life? Not just family, not just business, not just for me, but doing some self-evaluating. And that was probably the biggest takeaway for me, is just coming back and doing some self-evaluating.
Love that.
Love it.
And also getting to see all the amazing people I got to see.
Great. Linz, would you share?
Yes. So Mark Walker's talk first, it was my first event and it was amazing, and I can't wait till Dallas. It was so much fun. when he said everybody has similar life experiences, but your face shows what you focus on. And it made me think, like, what am I focusing on? And normally I'm a very positive person and I like to focus on the positive, and it doesn't matter how crappy of a situation it is. I always find the good, but life happens, things start to pull you down. And recently it's just kind of been, life's been weighing me down a lot. So I'm coming out of this refocusing on the positive, and I'm choosing to be more positive again, and not just, woe is me. So that was one of mine.
I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. And how exciting that it was your first event.
Yes, it was so much fun.
Awesome. So glad that you went. All right,
Yeah.
Christy, would you like to share? And maybe we can close it out after.
Before Christy shares, hang on a second.
Oh, okay.
Is Sarah still on here? Sarah June still on here? You'd have to unmute if you're still on here. I know she was. Can you unmute? She sent me, I just sent her a message and I know she's still on here. So hang on.
Yeah, there's a few without names, so maybe.
Yeah, I'll try to. Can you unmute? She's sending me text saying here. Can you unmute your phone? Okay, we'll work on unmuting.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Okay,
Sorry,
so
I'm driving. So
That's
and I don't know what happened to my picture.
That's Sarah June. She came just to support a friend of hers.
Well, no, let's restate that. I came to save my friend from herself.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk about that, and just real quick, talk about her first event too, and talk about what changed when you got there.
So, been a salesperson since I've been 9, done every multi-marketing level thing that anybody could ever imagine, and vowed in my lifetime I would never, ever, ever do it again. And because of that, Julie brought me because she trusted me, and I've been a salesperson all my life. So that said, I have had some serious health issues, lots of different things go on in the last 5 years. During this last year, I had developed, from last Easter, actually, I had developed some really serious things that had happened, found another multi-level product that was amazing, was taking it, didn't have the money, obviously, or funds to get involved, but it was so amazing that my daughter jumped in, right? So she was going to try to do that. Total disarray, as a lot of them are. But the product was still amazing. So I did lose weight. I did all these things. It was going great. It's been a year, but it's so expensive, so disorganized, just did not work. Still have some issues that need to be addressed. So that said, Julie knew that about me. She's been taking this product for 9-10 years, and unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that. But she knew that I had been doing all of that. Also, there's just a lot of things in my life. And the one thing that I was raised is to have faith. So someone had said a while ago, I can't remember who, I kind of look at the world with rose-colored glasses. And although I've gone through some really traumatic things, my only comeback with that is don't ever ask God and say you have this great life. Man, nothing ever horrible enough has ever happened that I've ever had a testimony. Don't ever ask him that, because he'll show you one. So that said, I do have a testimony. So there's been a lot of things that faith has done in my life. And one of them has put me right where I was this weekend. Time and time again, you get those goosebumps from floor to ceiling, and you know that this is auspicious, and then you are definitely on a divine appointment. And so about 11 years ago, this same friend slash client she was in a position where I was able to help her through a lot of things. And we worked on it together. And after 5 years of working for her and with her, she said, okay, now are you ready to do this real estate thing by yourself? And she is the reason I got into real estate 11 years ago and made me the success that I am, just because I took those things. So here I am again, being rescued by this same person in this wonderful event with words and syntaxes, and just time and time again, if you just pay attention when you're praying, God will always bring it about, always. So there's signs and things that you have to pay attention. So not only are you showing up for everybody else, show up for yourself, but show up for God and listen to what he says, and listen to what the word says. One of the things that really spoke to me in all of my life is, where there is no vision, the people perish. So if you do not have a vision board, and today it makes it a little harder because there's no magazines anywhere, everything's all online and you got to print that stuff up. And I think one of us talked about that this weekend. So I've been trying to make a vision board again because I know it's so important. So I've got ideas of what I want to put on there. And as simple as Habakkuk 2:2 is to write it down so that it's so clear, not only to you, but that everybody passing by can see it too. Because what happens when people see signs is they read them. And they not only read them, but they a lot of times will read them out loud. So when every single buddy else walks by them, God knew that the law of attraction works. So not only are you confessing the word over your life, but now because you wrote it down like he told you to, everybody else is walking by it too. And they're reading it and they're affirming it over you. Right? And so that's the thing you have to really do. So I said, okay, well, God, well, that's what you said. Where the heck are these magazines? I got to have magazines. I can't do this. I can't go buy them at $15 a piece, right? So I go to Chillicothe today to go see my new boyfriend. And in this trash can, I kid you not, are magazines filled to the brim. They're falling on the ground. And I go, what are you doing with those? He goes, oh, it's trash. I go, it is not to me. So this is the thing that I know. Now, whether I make it or not, that's not really the point. I just know that I am where I am supposed to be, and at such a time as this, because only God can make the perfect timing. And y'all don't know me. You don't know my timing. I mean, literally, I came to that event with $20 in my checking account, and a little less because I bought a water today. It's the little choices that you make so much. But you know what I did for myself today? I bought a water instead of a soda. I didn't drink the sodas this weekend. Those are the things that you do because you know they're the right things to do. So just honor yourself and honor God. And by honoring yourself, you are honoring God, because God says, don't take my name in vain. So every single time that you say I am, or I can't, or I don't do this, God says, my name is I am that I am. And every single time that you take that temple, which is your body, and you do anything with it that is different than what you know that you're supposed to be doing, or every time that you say I can't, God says I can. He says, let the weak say I'm strong, right? So that's where I'm at. It just fires me up. It fires the word that's in me. And I'm not over spiritual. I've just been through a lot of crap in the last 5 years. And I had to figure out who I was and figure out who he was and quit just taking it from everybody else's perspective. So get your butt in the word, get your butt in the books, read, learn how to sell. If you don't, man, I've taught more people how to sell than I know even who I am. But it's this type of marketing thing I've never done. I don't know computers. I don't know that stuff. I've been in real estate for 11 years. What do I know? And so that's why God put Melissa, who's a numbers queen, right in my pathway. But here he sent he sent me another angel, and the last time it was successful, and here we are again, and she's trying to figure it out. And we just went there to try to save each other and keep each other from trying to spend any money. And then what happened? God showed up.
Well, and I'm going to say that you are going to make it.
Yes,
And
I am going to make it.
I am not going to take anything less. She has decided this weekend that she is going to be a partner. She got signed up as a partner just to get the discount, but she's going for Extreme Builder. So I'm really excited for her. And it's just, that's the power of these events. And I'm so excited, Jan. Let so many people talk about it. These events have power. They have power. So thanks, Sarah, Jan.
Awesome. Melissa, would you like to go ahead and close us out?
Is Christy going to talk?
She said no.
Okay.
We're running into an hour, so.
Yes, I would. I am going to declare Ephesians 3:20 over all of you. God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can think or ask because we honor him. His blessings are going to chase us down and overtake us. You are in the right place at the right time. And I declare a boldness to rise up in each one of you. God is going to open supernatural doors. People are going to seek us out, and we are going to rise in the ranks because we give him the honor and glory. I love you guys so much. Have a fantastic night.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye.
Good night.
Bye, guys.